What if I told you that your gut feelings aren't just emotions, but your body's most sophisticated intelligence system, processing information faster than your conscious mind can keep up? A brilliant neuroscientist lost her husband and began experiencing something that challenged everything she believed about consciousness and reality. Signs, synchronicities, and communications that seemed impossible. Instead of dismissing these experiences, she used her scientific training to understand them. If you're someone who's ever had a gut feeling that turned out to be right, ever thought of someone moments before they called, or ever wondered if there's more to consciousness than we understand, the next 45 minutes will change how you see the world. This isn't about abandoning logic. It's about integrating an intelligence system you already possess but have never learned to use properly. Your intuition isn't mystical nonsense. It's cutting-edge neuroscience. Chapter 1. Your brain's hidden intelligence network. Your brain contains something called the reticular activating system. Think of it as a bouncer for your consciousness. Every second, your senses take in 11 million pieces of information, but your conscious mind can only process about 40. This system decides what gets through, and it's incredibly sophisticated. This isn't just random filtering. Your brain is constantly running predictive models about what's going to happen next, taking in environmental cues, body language, vocal tones, energy levels, and thousands of other variables to forecast outcomes. When something doesn't match the predicted pattern, you get that feeling that something's off. A woman walked into her office one morning and immediately felt something was wrong. Nothing looked different, but her body was screaming danger. She trusted the feeling, left the building, and 20 minutes later, a gas leak caused an explosion. Her brain had detected microscopic changes in air quality, subtle sounds, maybe even pheromones from stressed coworkers, information her conscious mind missed completely. For millions of years, humans who could detect subtle patterns in their environment survived while those who couldn't became extinct. Your ancestors who noticed the rustle in the bushes that meant predator, who sensed when someone was lying, who felt when a situation was dangerous, they lived long enough to pass on their genes to you. This survival mechanism is still active in your brain right now. When you walk into a room and instantly like or dislike someone, when you get an uneasy feeling about a situation, when you suddenly think of someone moments before they contact you, that's your reticular activating system working perfectly. The key is learning to distinguish between fear-based reactions and genuine intuitive intelligence. Real intuitive hits have a different quality. They're quiet but persistent. They often contradict what you want to hear, and they come with information you couldn't have logically deduced. Chapter 2. The Science of Gut Feelings. Your intestines contain more serotonin than your brain. The chemicals that regulate your mood, your decision-making, and your sense of well-being are being produced in your stomach. When people talk about trusting your gut, they're referencing a sophisticated biological communication network. The vagus nerve creates a direct highway between your gut and your brain. When you're in a dangerous situation, your intestines can send warning signals to your brain faster than your eyes can process what you're seeing. This is why you sometimes feel sick to your stomach before you consciously realize you're in trouble. Research shows that people with a strong gut-brain connection make better financial decisions, have more successful relationships, and experience less anxiety. They're not psychic. They're just better at reading the constant stream of information their body is providing. A successful entrepreneur was considering a major business partnership. On paper, everything looked perfect. The numbers worked, the credentials were impressive, the references checked out. But every time he met with the potential partner, he felt slightly nauseous. He almost ignored this feeling. After all, what did his stomach know about business? But he decided to investigate further. He discovered that his potential partner had a history of legal troubles that hadn't shown up in standard background checks. His gut had picked up on microexpressions, vocal patterns, and body language that suggested deception. Trusting that queasy feeling saved him millions of dollars and years of legal battles. Your body is constantly scanning for safety and opportunity. Your gut feelings aren't random. They're your internal guidance system processing information at a level below conscious awareness. When you learn to listen to and interpret these signals, you gain access to a decision-making tool that's been refined by millions of years of evolution. Chapter 3. The Art of Noticing. In our hyper-connected, constantly distracted world, we've lost the ability to notice subtle signals. We're so busy scrolling, analyzing, and overthinking that we miss the quiet intelligence trying to guide us. The art of noticing isn't about looking harder, it's about looking differently. When you slow down and become present, patterns that were always there suddenly become visible. That person who keeps showing up in your life might be bringing an opportunity. That recurring dream might be pointing towards something your conscious mind hasn't recognized yet. That song that keeps playing when you're thinking about a specific decision might be highlighting something important. After losing her husband, Robin, a neuroscientist started noticing robins everywhere in her garden more than she'd ever seen before. Numbers began appearing: 111 on clocks, receipts, license plates. Then 44, which she discovered means your angels are guiding you, you're on the right path. Her friend went to dinner and found water glasses with RB, Robin's initials, etched on the bottom. The next morning, that same friend received an email titled, "A Thank You from Robin," a charity donation receipt from weeks earlier. You might dismiss this as confirmation bias, but there's something deeper happening. When you're in a heightened emotional state, when you're grieving or making a major life transition, your reticular activating system becomes hypersensitive. It starts highlighting connections and patterns that were always present but previously filtered out. This isn't about believing in supernatural communication. It's about recognizing that your brain is constantly looking for meaningful patterns. When you're open to receiving guidance, whether from your subconscious wisdom, environmental cues, or something beyond current scientific understanding, you start noticing information that can help you navigate difficult decisions. The practice of noticing requires you to quiet the analytical mind and become curious about what you're sensing. Instead of immediately explaining away coincidences or unusual experiences, you pause and ask, what might this be pointing toward? What pattern might this be part of? Chapter 4: Synchronicity and Pattern Recognition. Synchronicity isn't magic, it's advanced pattern recognition. Your brain is constantly looking for connections between events, people, and circumstances. When you're aligned with your deeper purpose or facing an important decision, these patterns become more visible because your attention is focused and your emotional stakes are high. Carl Jung coined the term synchronicity to describe meaningful coincidences, events that seem connected by meaning rather than cause and effect. Modern neuroscience suggests that what we call synchronicity might be our brain's way of highlighting patterns that our conscious mind hasn't recognized yet. Think about the last time you were struggling with a decision and kept encountering the same advice from multiple sources. A conversation overheard in a coffee shop, an article that appeared in your feed, a friend who mentioned something relevant. Your brain was primed to notice information related to your concern, and it started highlighting relevant data from your environment. A woman was debating whether to leave her corporate job to start her own business. She kept seeing the number 333 everywhere, on receipts, clocks, addresses. She looked it up and discovered it's associated with creativity and taking bold action. The same week, she met 3 different entrepreneurs at unrelated events who all told her similar stories about leaving corporate careers. Then her company announced layoffs, and her severance package provided exactly the financial cushion she needed to make the transition. Was this the universe sending signs, or was her brain highlighting information that was always there? Both explanations might be true. What matters is that paying attention to these patterns provided guidance that helped her make a decision aligned with her deeper values and goals. The key is learning to distinguish between wishful thinking and genuine synchronicity. Real synchronicity has a quality of rightness, of pieces fitting together in a way that feels both surprising and inevitable. It often involves information or opportunities you couldn't have logically anticipated. Chapter 5: The Neuroscience of Intuition. Intuition isn't the opposite of rational thinking. It's rapid, unconscious information processing. While your conscious mind can handle about 7 pieces of information at once, your unconscious mind processes thousands of variables simultaneously, looking for patterns and predicting outcomes. When you meet someone and instantly feel that you can trust them, your brain has analyzed their facial expressions, vocal patterns, body language, and countless other microsignals in milliseconds. When you walk into a negotiation and sense that something's off, you're picking up on subtle changes in energy, posture, or communication patterns that suggest the other party isn't being completely honest. Studies show that people make better decisions when they trust their initial intuitive response, and then use analysis to refine and implement that decision. The problem occurs when we override our intuitive wisdom with overthinking, or when we make purely emotional decisions without any rational verification. The most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and creatives have learned to integrate both systems. They use their intuitive intelligence to identify opportunities and threats quickly, then apply analytical thinking to develop strategies and implementation plans. This isn't about being impulsive. It's about being intelligently responsive to information that exists below the threshold of conscious awareness. A venture capitalist developed a reputation for identifying successful startups before they became obvious winners. His secret wasn't superior analytical skills. It was trusting his gut reaction to the founders. Within minutes of meeting entrepreneurs, he could sense their level of commitment, their ability to adapt under pressure, and their genuine passion for solving the problem their company addressed. These qualities rarely showed up in business plans, but were visible to someone who knew how to read the subtle signals people constantly transmit. Your intuitive intelligence improves with practice and feedback. The more you pay attention to your initial responses and track their accuracy over time, the more refined this system becomes. It's like developing any skill. You get better by practicing and learning from both your successes and mistakes. Chapter 6: Breaking Free from Mental Patterns. Most people live their entire lives trapped in the same mental patterns, making decisions based on outdated programming from childhood, cultural conditioning, and past experiences. Your intuitive intelligence can help you break free from these limitations by providing fresh perspectives and creative solutions your analytical mind would never consider. Your brain is designed to be efficient, which means it creates shortcuts and habits to minimize energy expenditure. While this serves you in many ways, it also keeps you stuck in familiar patterns even when they're no longer serving you. Your intuitive intelligence operates outside these established neural pathways, offering insights that can help you see situations from entirely new angles. A successful lawyer felt increasingly miserable despite having everything she thought she wanted: prestigious job, impressive salary, social status. Her rational mind kept telling her she should be grateful, that she was crazy to consider leaving such a lucrative career. But her body was telling a different story. She had chronic headaches, insomnia, and a persistent feeling of emptiness. One morning, she was walking through a park and noticed a street musician playing guitar. Something about his joy and presence stopped her in her tracks. She realized she hadn't felt that kind of authentic expression in years. That moment of recognition became the catalyst for a complete career change. She left law to become a music therapist, combining her analytical skills with her creative passion. This transformation didn't happen through logical analysis. It emerged from paying attention to what her deeper intelligence was trying to communicate. Her body had been sending signals for months that this career path wasn't aligned with her authentic self, but she hadn't been listening. Breaking free from limiting patterns requires courage to trust information that doesn't fit your current self-concept or the expectations others have of you. Your intuitive intelligence often points toward growth that feels scary or uncertain, because it's calling you toward your untapped potential. Chapter 7: The Power of Presence. Presence is the foundation of intuitive intelligence. When you're fully present, not lost in thoughts about the past or worries about the future, you can access information that exists only in the current moment. This information includes subtle changes in energy, emerging opportunities, and the wisdom your body is constantly providing. Most people spend their days in a state of continuous partial attention, multitasking, planning, worrying, analyzing. This mental noise drowns out the quiet voice of intuitive guidance. When you learn to quiet your mind and drop into presence, you gain access to a much richer stream of information about what's happening around and within you. Presence isn't a luxury or a spiritual practice reserved for meditation retreats. It's a practical skill that enhances your ability to navigate complex situations with greater wisdom and effectiveness. When you're present with another person, you can sense their emotional state, their level of honesty, and what they need from you. When you're present with a decision, you can feel which option creates expansion in your body and which creates contraction. A negotiator became legendary for her ability to create win-win solutions in seemingly impossible situations. Her secret wasn't superior strategy or manipulation. It was her capacity to stay present and sense what was really needed by all parties. While others were focused on their positions and arguments, She was tracking the underlying emotions, fears, and desires that were driving the conflict. During one particularly challenging mediation, she noticed that one party kept touching their wedding ring whenever certain topics came up. This subtle gesture revealed that their concerns weren't really about money. They were about feeling valued and respected. Once she addressed this deeper need, the entire negotiation shifted, and they reached an agreement that satisfied everyone. Presence allows you to respond rather than react. Instead of being triggered by surface events, you can sense the deeper currents and respond to what's actually needed. This skill becomes more valuable as situations become more complex and ambiguous. Chapter 8, Transforming Relationships Through Intuitive Intelligence. Your ability to sense what others are feeling and needing, often before they're conscious of it themselves, can transform your relationships. This isn't about becoming psychic. It's about developing your natural capacity to read the subtle signals people are constantly transmitting through their body language, vocal tones, and energy. When you're present with someone, you can sense their emotional state beneath whatever they're saying. You might notice that someone claims to be fine, but their voice has a slight tremor, their shoulders are tense, or something about their energy feels fragile. This information allows you to respond to what they actually need rather than just their words. A mother noticed that her teenage daughter had been saying everything was fine at school, but something felt off. Instead of accepting the surface explanation, she trusted her intuitive sense that something was wrong. She created space for deeper conversation, and eventually her daughter revealed she was being bullied. The mother's willingness to trust her intuitive intelligence rather than just accepting words at face value allowed her to provide support when her daughter needed it most. This kind of sensing isn't manipulation or invasion of privacy, it's compassionate attention. When you truly see and respond to what someone needs, rather than what they're saying they need, you create deeper connection and trust. People feel understood at a level that goes beyond words. In professional relationships, this ability can be invaluable. You can sense when a client is hesitant about a proposal even if they haven't voiced their concerns. You can tell when a team member is overwhelmed even if they're trying to appear competent. You can feel when a conversation is heading toward conflict and redirect it before positions become entrenched. The key is using this information with wisdom and compassion. Just because you sense something doesn't mean you need to confront the person about it. Sometimes the most helpful response is simply adjusting your own behavior to create more safety or support. Chapter 9, Navigating Life Transitions with Inner Guidance. Major life transitions, career changes, relationship shifts, moving to new places, facing health challenges are times when your intuitive intelligence becomes especially valuable. These situations often involve too many variables for pure logical analysis, and they require you to make decisions with incomplete information. Your inner guidance system is designed to help you navigate uncertainty. While your analytical mind wants guarantees and clear outcomes, your intuitive intelligence can sense which direction leads toward growth and alignment even when you can't see the entire path. During transitions, pay attention to what creates energy in your body versus what depletes you. Notice which options make you feel more like yourself and which feel like you're trying to be someone else. Trust the paths that feel scary but exciting rather than the ones that feel safe but deadening. A couple was deciding whether to have children. They made lists of pros and cons, analyzed their finances, discussed their careers and lifestyle preferences. But the decision remained unclear until they spent time in silence together, sensing into the possibility. When they imagined their life with children, they both felt a sense of expansion, joy, and rightness that no amount of logical analysis had revealed. Sometimes your guidance comes through your body's response to different possibilities. Sometimes it emerges through dreams, conversations, or seemingly random events that point you in a particular direction. The key is staying open to information from multiple sources while maintaining your capacity for critical thinking. Transitions often require you to trust your deeper knowing even when others don't understand your choices. Your intuitive intelligence is personal. What's right for you might not make sense to others, and that's perfectly normal. The courage to follow your inner guidance, especially when it contradicts conventional wisdom, is how you create a life that's authentically yours. Chapter 10, Living from Your Deepest Intelligence. Integrating intuitive intelligence into your daily life isn't about abandoning reason or making impulsive decisions. It's about accessing a more complete spectrum of intelligence that includes both analytical thinking and the wisdom of your body, emotions, and unconscious mind. Start small. Before responding to emails, pause and notice what you sense about each message. Before entering meetings, take a moment to feel the energy in the room. Before making purchases, check in with your body's response to different options. These micro-practices develop your sensitivity to subtle information. Create space for stillness in your day. Even 5 minutes of quiet sitting, walking without distractions, or simply pausing between activities allows your deeper intelligence to emerge. In our culture of constant stimulation, this space for inner listening is revolutionary. The goal isn't to become dependent on signs and synchronicities, but to develop your own capacity for wise decision-making. Your intuitive intelligence is like a muscle. The more you use it with discernment, the stronger and more reliable it becomes. The most integrated approach combines intuitive sensing with rational analysis and practical action. You sense into possibilities with your whole being, use your analytical mind to evaluate options and create strategies, then take concrete steps while remaining open to course corrections based on new information. Living from your deepest intelligence means trusting that you have access to wisdom beyond what your conscious mind can grasp. It means paying attention to the subtle guidance that's always available and having the courage to act on it even when the path isn't completely clear. This is how you create a life that feels authentic, meaningful, and aligned with your deepest values. Not through perfect planning or logical optimization, but through the ongoing practice of listening to and trusting the intelligence that emerges from your entire being. Conclusion. Over the past 45 minutes, we've explored how science is revealing that intuition isn't mystical nonsense. It's sophisticated intelligence processing. Your brain's reticular activating system, your gut-brain connection, your body's constant environmental scanning. These are real biological systems providing you with information faster than conscious thought. The key insights we've covered: your brain processes millions of data points every second, filtering information based on your focus and emotional state. Your gut contains more serotonin than your brain and sends critical information through the vagus nerve. Presence and stillness allow you to access this guidance. Synchronicities are pattern recognition in action. Your body knows the right choice before your mind does. Most importantly, you don't have to choose between logic and intuition. The most effective people integrate both, using their full spectrum of intelligence to navigate an increasingly complex world. Your intuitive intelligence is always available, always providing guidance, always pointing you toward what serves your highest good. The question isn't whether this system exists, it's whether you're ready to listen, learn, and trust the wisdom that's been with you all along. Start today, pause before decisions, notice your body's responses, pay attention to patterns and synchronicities, trust your first impressions while gathering more information, create space for stillness and inner listening. Your deepest intelligence is calling. The only question is, are you ready to answer?